Everyone has a different academic timeline, so there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to timing. So in today's video, I will be introducing my academic timeline so you can just have as a reference. My name is Rafaela. I'm an educational sociologist based in Tokyo, and in this channel, I share my experience and my reflections on academia and wellness. So if that's something that you're interested, please subscribe to the channel. Before we start, let me just give you some background info. I'm 31 now. I grew up in Japan. I'm Brazilian, and I have studied my whole life in Japan. In my very first self-introduction video, I have told you about my experience coming to Japan and all that. So if you're interested in that part, please go back to that previous video. In this video, I will be sharing from grad school to now that I'm working as assistant professor. As I have mentioned before, I did not imagine myself being an academic. Actually, I started thinking of becoming a university professor when I was in the third year of my undergrad. What made me pursue academia was my experience studying abroad in Poland for a year. I did a small research project there, and I really found fascinating the research world. So when I came back from my study abroad, the first thing I did was start looking for a grad school. In the beginning, I was thinking of studying abroad again because I have just come back from study abroad and I just absolutely loved the experience. But realistically speaking, I realized that I wouldn't have the funding to just go back. I could have applied for a scholarship, but I knew that most of the scholarships, they only pay you when you get to the destination. In my case, since I grew up in an immigrant household, we had a very difficult financial situation. So for me, it wouldn't really be realistic to study abroad again. So I shifted to looking for universities in Japan. And then when I have talked to my professors, they told me that it will be better to seek for some universities that they have a very famous name, let's say, abroad, in case I would want to continue my studies for a PhD abroad and also have an international career. At the time, I was also considering working in international organizations. That's why my professors, they suggested me to get into a university that will be well known abroad. I had to literally start over because I was transitioning from international relations to education field. And here in Japan, you have to take an exam to get into the master's program. So I had to decide on the university that I wanted to apply as soon as possible because each university, they have a different entrance exam. So in my case, I started looking for some professors that they were doing research on migrant education, and I found the university that I applied for. So I think I decided on the university that I wanted to apply. It was in the end of my third year of undergraduate program, and I started visiting the universities when I was in the fourth year. And soon after, I realized that I was a little bit late because most of the people that I've talked to that they went visit those professors, they have already done it when they were finishing their third year. So if you're thinking of applying to university in Japan, I strongly recommend you visiting the professors and the universities way ahead. That way you can prepare yourself with more time. I didn't really share much with people around me that I was applying to grad school because part of me was scared that I wouldn't be able to get into the program. I was applying for a very prestigious university in Japan. I knew my capacity as a second generation immigrant growing up in Japan, and I didn't really want to disappoint my parents either. So it took me quite a long time to tell people around me that I was officially applying to the grad school. My entrance exam happened in September, which is very common in Japan. Luckily, I got accepted, thank God. So I still had about 6 months to figure out moving to Tokyo and all that until I graduate from the undergraduate program. I started my master's program when I was turning 23, I think. When I got into the master's program, I was quite sure that I wanted to pursue my PhD and then become a university professor. But when I got into the master's program, I realized that the study was a lot more harder than I imagined. And I don't know, I started feeling very insecure about my decisions. And on top of that, I lost my father when I was in the second year of a master's program. And that really made me think if I wanted to continue my studies or not. But then at the end, as I explained in my previous video, I decided to continue my studies. In my university, if you are already in the master's program and you want to continue in the same PhD program at the same university, then you don't have to take like an official exam. Your master's thesis defense will be considered as your exam, kind of. But still, you do have to write the application form, which includes your research plan for your PhD. So I had to do that when I was in the second year of my master's program. I had my master's thesis defense in February, in the second year of my master's degree, and luckily again I got accepted. So I continued my PhD journey right after. As I explained in my previous video, I have missed the opportunity to apply for a fellowship. So I had to continue the work that I was already doing in my master's, because I also self-funded during my master's. So I literally continued my work during my PhD program. My original plan was to try to finish my PhD in 3 years, which I knew was insane. Since I could not get a fellowship to focus fully on my PhD, my supervisor suggested me to try applying for some research fund. Thank God I was accepted to this research funding by a private company in Japan. When I was about to start my research, unfortunately, pandemic happened and I had to change all my plans. And that really devastated me, because I knew that if I couldn't finish my PhD, I wouldn't be able to land a position in academia. And at the time, I was working in a private company. And also, I needed to figure out if I was going to graduate just finishing my course, or if I would just take a break from my university, because I wouldn't be able to continue paying, not knowing when I was going to finish my PhD. Oh, just for reference, here in Japan, you have to pay for your higher education, even if it's a public university. When I opened up about my situation to my supervisor, she recommended me I would take a break. Because if I just simply leave university, academia, I wouldn't have any affiliation related to university. So when I will be writing journals, articles, and all that, I wouldn't have a university to write. I will have to write something like former University of Tokyo student or something like that. So I took my supervisor's advice and I decided to take a break for 2 years and figure out what I can do. I was also applying for jobs, but there was no hope actually, because most of the positions that I was looking on, they were looking for people with a PhD. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to apply, but still I just applied for like practice, let's say, because I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but here in Japan, usually if you're applying for university, depending on the position, you have to submit a syllable idea and also like an essay, 2 or 3 essays that's actually related to the class that you're teaching, and also your academic experience. And the resume format is different for every single university, literally. So I had to spend quite a lot of time working on that job application process. And I realized that if I was just working in the corporate environment, I wouldn't really be able to dedicate 100% of my energy and my time to this whole transition process. So I decided to quit my corporate job. I was really insecure about my decision because of the financial issue, but I really believe that helped me a lot, because I was able to advance a lot on my PhD. That was in my 4th or 5th year of my PhD. and I was also able to get some part-time lecturing jobs as well. And again, my financial state was not stable at all, but since I was doing something that I really wanted to do, and I really wanted to give it a try to academic position as well, to see if that's really what I wanted to do, because part of me also wanted to I don't know, create like a nonprofit organization or something to help the immigrants. But I realized that teaching was something that I always loved doing. So I decided to continue a little longer with that situation to see what really happens. And when I was about to give up on my academic journey, I got accepted by my previous job as an assistant professor in a university in Japan, and I was really happy for that. Finally, I was able to work in an academic, like fully in academic environment, and also work on my dissertation at the same time. So my mental health improved a lot at the time, and I also got married soon after with my husband, and it was like crazy. My last year of my PhD journey was super heavy because I was moving in with my husband, and we were getting ready for our wedding ceremony, and also we were planning our honeymoon, and then we came back. I was like, oh, so busy. But somehow I was able to manage everything, and I finished my PhD in March this year. When I was about to finish my PhD, I found this position that I'm working right now. I applied for it. I was not sure at all that I was going to get that position, but miraculously I got that position, and I'm continuing working as assistant professor. Well, in Japanese we say 講師, so it's one level higher, let's say, from assistant professor, which is jokyo in Japanese. But to align with international standards, let's say by the naming, I still present myself as assistant professor in international context. I tried making this timeline as shorter as possible, but I hope it was helpful for you to see that no academic journey is linear at all. Through this video, I just wanted to tell you that you don't have to worry about you being behind or ahead, nothing like that. Your journey is yours, and you really have to embrace it, and that will bring you peace and happiness in your academic life. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!